All right, kiddos, day 2. I think it'll go a little smoother today. So, a couple of things before we get started that I wanted to talk to you about. On this YouTube page, I have a playlist that should be accessible on the sidebar. I don't know if it's this side or this side, but you should be able to see a sidebar of playlists for math. And I just want you to know that it has everything that you're going to be learning. It has tally charts and it has frequency tables that we've already talked about, it has line plots we've already talked about. But since we're going to actually have a test tomorrow, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but somehow I'm going to find a way to give you guys an online test. Wait for it. I just want you to maybe review what we've learned so far, go through your book a little bit. You can look through those videos. It'll give you lots of ideas. Today, we're learning a problem-solving strategy called simplifying a problem. The problems in the book are okay, but I really like some of the ideas that they had in those videos. So those might be some fun ideas for you to watch and kind of think through. Maybe pause the videos and try and work through the problem before they give you the answer. I think that would be helpful for you. So today, go get your math book, and we are just going to start right on page 735 to do some problem solving. So pause this if you need to. All right, so on page 735, we are talking about learning the problem-solving strategy. And I think I actually need to go back a page. Hold on. There we go. Oh, see, it's already giving you the answer. Okay. We're not going to do review today because I want us to try and get through this so that you guys can be reviewing some of the work that we've been doing, okay? So let's look at this where it says learn the strategy. It says Shane rolls a 0 to 5 number cube. So he has one number cube that has 0 to 5 and a 5 to 10 number cube. So a different number cube that has the numbers 5 to 10. And he rolls them together at the same time 20 different times. So he's like 1, 2, rolls them together 20 times. The greatest possible sum, so the biggest number on one cube is 5 and the biggest number on the other cube is 10. So that sum would be what? How do you find a sum? Add them together, right? So that would be 15. So if the biggest possible sum is 15, Shane estimates, like he does this guess, that half of his rolls will have a sum of 15. So if he rolls them 20 times, if he says half of them are going to have a sum of 15, how many is that going to be? What is half of 20 rolls? Yeah, it's going to be 10, right? So if he rolls it together 20 times, he's saying at least 10 of them are going to be 15. So we are going to try and find out if that is a reasonable estimate. So let's look. Understand first, what facts do you know? The number of times he'll roll the cubes, and Shane is estimating that half of his rolls will have a sum of 15. So you're going to fill that in right there. And rather than me writing these things in there, I'm going to just go to this because it's better handwriting than mine. What do you need to find? You need to find if his estimate is reasonable. So that's what you would write right there. Is his estimate reasonable? Then you're going to plan. You're going to collect and organize the data in a line plot because then it's kind of easy just to see how it turned out. And you're going to decide if his estimate was reasonable. Also, I just want you to know I have switched locations today for teaching. I am on the floor in my bedroom because I have so many of my own kids that are doing online school. I have 3 teenagers, all high school and middle school, and they're in computers and things all around the house. So this is the only quiet place I could come to teach you guys. I just want you to know, dedication in my bedroom. Okay, so let's look at this line plot. So obviously we're not going to actually roll the cubes. They rolled the cubes for us and then put them all in the line plot. Really simplified it for us. So we can see he rolled 9. So he rolled 2 numbers that added to 9 2 times, 10 4 times, 11 3 times, 12 2 times, 13 3 times, 14 4 times, and 15 2 times. So were half of his rolls 15? Did he roll, if he rolled 20 times, did 10 times he roll 15? No. How many times did he roll 15? Just twice, right? So when we answer these questions, that's what we need to look at. It says half of the rolls are 10 rolls. So he would have to roll 15 10 times to make his estimate reasonable. He only rolled 15 2 times. So that's what you're going to fill in there. He only rolled it 2 times. So his estimate wasn't reasonable because 10 and 2 really aren't close, right? Half of the times or just 2 of the times, that's not a very close estimate. So does your answer make sense? You say, yeah, my answer totally rocks it because he only rolled 15 2 times. Okay. Hope that makes sense, kind of going through that one together. Okay, the next one is practicing the strategy. So I'm going to have you guys try and do this whole page. You're going to pause it and try and figure out this whole page, and then we're going to see if you get the answer right. So just pause it right there. Okay, now that you've come back, let's look at it. It says Julina estimated that she needs to make 100 favors for the family reunion. So like party favors, like maybe she's making a little balloon thing, or maybe she's making a little folded napkin for everybody. Is this a reasonable estimate? So do you think 100 favors is about right if 62 relatives come on Friday and half that many come on Saturday? Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like the family reunion is going to last how many days? 2 days, because it's going to be Friday and Saturday. And what do we know? So we could actually put that in there right for this answer. It says, what facts do we know? We know the number of the favors that she makes. She's planning on making 100, right? And we only know how many relatives are going to be there on Friday, right? We don't know yet how many are going to be on. We don't know the exact number yet of how many are going to be there on Saturday. So what do we need to find? We need to find the total number of relatives coming, see if that's going to match up with what we have, and see if 100 is a reasonable estimate. That's what we need to look at. Okay, so if we're going to plan this out, how are we going to find out, or how did you find out how many relatives are going to come? Hopefully, you did something along the lines of this. You're going to figure out how many are coming. You're going to plan it out by saying, I'm going to find out how many are coming on Friday, and I'm going to try and get about half of that many. How are you going to find out half? You could just say, well, half of 2 is 1 and half of 6 is 3, right? You could just divide both of those numbers by 2 to get a total to be 31. And then you're going to have to add those numbers back together so you can find the total number. And then you're going to compare that to the 100 and see if it's correct. So let's see if we did that right. When you have your solve, that's where you're going to put it in there to say, okay, 62, and you can use your mental math like we just talked about a second to say, well, half of 62 is 31. So you have to take the 62 that are coming on Friday, add in the 31 that are coming on Saturday to get 93 total. And is that reasonable? Sure, yeah, 93 and 100 are pretty close, right? So she's going to have enough favors for everybody, and she might even have a couple extra to give out. So that is a reasonable estimate. So I hope that makes sense, trying to simplify and break down that problem. Okay, you can check it by adding it back up if you wanted to. Okay, now this is your 2 pages. So on page 737 and 738, these are the 2 pages that you are going to do. And like I said before, you can do the whole page if you want to and then come back and correct it with me. Or you can do problem by problem and just pause it between the problems and try and work on a problem and then check it. It just depends on what is easiest for you. But these are the 2 pages, 737 and 738. You'll have to take a picture of those 2 pages and email those 2 into me with the 2 pages from yesterday to know that we're getting that work done, okay?